All right, good evening, everyone. In our last class, we talked about some things. We talked about shared hosting. We talked about WordPress hosting. We talked about VPS hosting. We explained the basic things that um, you need to know if you want to get into web development. Now, we also said how that for the sake of this class, for the sake of this teaching, we will prepare a hosting account as well as a domain for you, to get started, so you don't have to go purchase a domain and all of that. So now we have our domain ready. Yesterday we were unable to make progress because the domain was still propagating. Now, the first information you need is the information to access this platform. The email address is students@microfidelitybusinessinstitute.org. The domain we got is microfidelitybusinessinstitute.org. That's the domain we got for the students. Now, the password is going to be institute password at 2026. Once you're able to sign in, do not change the email address, do not change the password, do not change anything. Remember that you're sharing resources with your fellow students. So please take this down. Take it down. I think I have it somewhere. So for the hosting accounts, if you can see my screen, please tell me. Can you see my screen? Someone can unmute and just let me know.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. So now the email for the hosting account is students@microfidelitybusinessinstitute.org, and the password is institute password at 2026. Institute password at 2026. Now we purchased this solely for the purpose of this class. We have this solely for the purpose of this class. So remember that this credential will only log you into the hosting account. Now, Microfidelity is the same as the domain registrar. So the same, once you have just this login details, once you can access both the domain and the hosting. All right. Keep in mind that not all hosting companies sell domains, and not all domain registrars sell hosting. They're two different things, although they're linked in a way. I've explained this before in the previous class. So, but Microfidelity has offers both domain and hosting, which means if you log in with this information, you should be able to see your hosting and you should be able to see your domain all in one account. Okay, I just added this here just for clarity's sake, the domain registrar information and all, for clarity's sake, in case you happen to be in a situation where you are purchasing hosting and domain from two different companies. So I'm going to go ahead and change this right here. I'm going to change this to cPanel. I changed that to cPanel. Now, cPanel is the control panel. We've talked about this, and I explained to you how that once you purchase a hosting service from a company, once you purchase a shared hosting service from a company, you get something called a cPanel. A cPanel is the control panel you use to make things work on your hosting and that hosting that you purchased. Now, the username for our cPanel account in this training is called Institute Account. Institute Account. You can take it down. Institute Account. For the cPanel, it is case sensitive and it is all lowercase. It is not uppercase. There's no capital letter in it. It's Institute Account. That is the username. The password is also Institute Password at 2026. Once again, I'm going to remind you, no one is allowed to change the password. No one is allowed to change the username. You're not allowed to go to the hosting account or the cPanel account to change anything. Everything you do should be within your WordPress page. Now, I'm going to come to this place and show you what this domain looks like. Microfidelity businessinstitute.org. Let's go to it. Now, this is what we call an index page. It's a blank page, it's an empty page. What this means is that this domain, microfidelity businessinstitute.org, has been pointed to an active hosting account. It has been pointed to a server, a hosting server, but nothing has been built on it yet. Hence the reason you see this index page. Okay, now if you look here, you would notice it says not secure. If you can see this, please let me know. You would notice it says not secure. Can anyone see this? Someone can unmute and let me know. Can you see it says not secure?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I can see it.
Thank you very much. Now you see when I click on that, it says your connection to this site is not secure. You should not enter any sensitive information on this site. For example, password secure, password, credit card, and other details, because it could be stolen by attackers. In the last class, I shared with you about something called an SSL, and we talked about hypertext protocol, hypertext transfer protocol, and hypertext transfer protocol secure. Now, I want to show you something. Once you copy this link, let's go to our Canva presentation board. Let's come here and let's just drag a text. I want to paste that link. I want you to see what it looks like. Okay, just hold up. Awesome, I've pasted it. Do you notice that the link comes on HTTP? Can you see that? It comes on HTTP. It doesn't come on HTTPS because I told you until an SSL certificate is installed, you don't get HTTPS. So this website right now is not secure. If you're going to be charging a client, if you're going to be taking on a project, these are the things you should take note of. Number one is the hosting, what the hosting would cost you. Number two, what the domain would cost you. Well, it's actually good you start with the domain because sometimes the name might not be available. So it's important you check for availability. So the first thing you're checking for, you're going to take note of is the domain name. The second thing is the hosting, how much the hosting service will cost. And then the third thing you're going to take note of is your SSL. Okay, if the client also wants a business email address, you're also going to take note of the email hosting. Now let's go on. Let me show you something because I would want us to remember these things I listed. When a client approaches you, the first thing you're going to think of, the first thing you're taking into account is the domain. The second thing is the hosting. The third thing is the SSL certificate. That's what it's called. And the fourth thing is the email hosting. Unless the client explicitly tells you they do not need email service, then you can just leave this out of the package. Germany is just joining the meeting. So now you would notice here that I have a tab open on a website called Truly Financial. This is trulyfinancial.com. What you're looking at here is a corporate website. Let's check out who Truly Financial is or who they are. It says Truly Financial is a fintech platform that provides borderless business banking, multi-currency accounts, and global payment solutions designed specifically for small to medium businesses, startups, and freelancers. It serves as an alternative to traditional banking by offering the following. You don't need all of that. The important thing is, it's an existing company. So this is Truly Financial. This is the website. We're going to use this website in the course of our training. This is what we're going to attempt to simulate. Please keep in mind that the website we're redesigning, this website that we're going to be redesigning here, cannot be used to transact anything because we do not own rights to any content on this site you're looking at. So it is just for the purpose of this class. Okay, this is a corporate website, and we believe that if you can build something like this, you are really good to go. If you can build something like this, you are really good to go. So this is what we're going to be using for this particular class. So now, remember, if a client contacts you, these are the things you should take note of. So the website that you're going to go, if you want to access, so if you want to purchase hosting, is called microfidelity.com. That's where we outsource things. Let me bring it back to our Canva. So there are all kinds of web hosting companies, and you can really make your peak. But for the sake of reliability, you don't want to be testing things around. It's important to deal with people who know exactly what you're doing. So now we've gotten the hosting, and the link to the hosting account is on microfidelity service.microfidelity. But you could add, so https www.service.microfidelity.com. https www.microfidelity. Now, when you go there and you click on login, it's going to bring you to this page. Remember, I said this is our hosting account, and I told you that the email address you'll be using is students@microfidelity.business institute.org, and the password is institute password at 2026. So I'll just go ahead and hit the login button. Awesome. So here we are, we're in. So now this is what the client area looks like. The client area is the customer area. This is what the customer area looks like. So once you buy a hosting service from Microfidelity, this is what it's going to look like. You can ignore every other details here. We're showing you this just so you get acquainted with, you get an idea of what a platform like this would look like. So now this is the customer dashboard by default. Okay, now let's come here, and this will take you to the home page, which is pretty much same as this interface you're looking at, because this is your account. Then this says services. If you click on this, it's going to show you the services that are currently available that you can purchase. I'm not saving the password. It's going to show you the services that are available. Other new services is going to take you straight to make your order available. View available add-ons will also show you what add-ons are available. Now you come here for domains. It's here, my domains, renew domains, register a new domain. Everything here is in line, and you can play around the website to see how things work. Remember, you're not to make a change on anything important at all, because your classmates are also using the same platform. Billing is where you get to see your invoices. We currently have 505.87 due, which is the invoice for the hosting account and the domain that we got. This is this is not your department. Microfidelity is covering this, so you're good to go. So support is for tickets, announcements, downloads, network status, and all. Now here is when you want to report something, open ticket. Now, what is the most important thing in this class is domains. So let's go ahead and see. I told you we got a domain already, so I'm just going to click on my domain. And this is it, microfidelitybusinessinstitute.org. This is the domain that we got. Now, you would see here there are three options. It says manage name servers. Another says edit contact info. And then the next is renew domains. When I click on more, you see auto renewal status, you see registrar lock status. Yesterday, someone asked me a question. If you can hear me, please let me know. Someone asked me a question saying, what happens, something like how to have two domains or so in one hosting account. I think, I can't remember the question word for word, but I think, okay, I did say that if you're registering a domain, you should register it with the information of your client. Can anyone remember when I said that? If you can remember, please unmute and just let me know. you can remember, please unmute and let me know.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Now, what you're looking at here is your hosting account. Your hosting account, and let me show you something. Once you click on this, this is your icon, right? You click on this, you come to account details. Someone is trying to join us. Let's just admit the person. Now you click on this, you come to your account details. You can see here the name is General James. Email is, student at Microfidelity. This information, considering that it is for your hosting account, your own hosting account, either as a company or a freelancer, this can be yours. This information is yours to manage. Okay. Okay, I think someone else is coming up. So this information is yours to manage. The contact information on a hosting account is not the same as the contact information for domains. Now let's go back to our customer interface. So this is our customer interface. Remember, I came here, I clicked on this, and then I clicked on domains. That's not the only way to get to that place. You could just hover on this and click on domains as well to go see. So we're back. We're back here. This is it. Now let's click on this domain first. We've selected the domain in question. Click on edit contact information. Now, once you click on this, the details you're going to be entering here have as solely, I think something about this is locked, and maybe perhaps we'll address it in an advanced class. But the details, when it's this part that says edit contact information, it has to do with the owner of the business. Okay, if the domain is not yours and it belongs to your client, then you are solely you're obligated to enter their own information in the contact information of that specific domain. That is it. Let's check out something else. Manage name servers. Great. Now, I did say in our last class, I said how that a hosting account is a server where things live, and a domain is like the name that points you to that server. And I told you about something called name servers when we talked about DNS, domain. When we talked about DNS, domain name server or domain name system. Now look at this. We already have a DNS here. We already have a name server on this. If we do not have a name server on this domain, it's not going to connect to our hosting. Let me be practical here. If you come to this index page, microfidelitybusinessinstitute.org, you see this white page. This white page you are looking at is coming from the hosting. This is what the hosting has to present to you. This is not the default domain, not the default thing a new domain will show you. A new domain might show you a screen that says something like, this domain has been registered and XYZ. Now, we went on to point this domain to our hosting. I'm going to get to that part where I show you our hosting. But what we use to point the domain to our hosting is a name server. Now, in this interface, once you have a name server registered, it doesn't necessarily have to come up here. On some hosting platforms, it might come up, but here it's not necessary. Okay, it's not compulsory. But take note, whatever change you make here is going to stick. So if you come here and say ns1.microfidelity.cloud and ns2.microfidelity.cloud, name server 1 and name server 2, and you hit change name servers, you should keep in mind that the moment you enter that setting and it goes through, you get a success message. It has gone already. Okay, you don't have to repeat it, and you don't have to do it over and over again. Changing name servers would take 5 to 30 minutes, and sometimes 24 hours for it to fully propagate across the globe. What does that mean? Let's go to a platform called whatsmydns.net. Let me show you what I mean. Whatsmydns.net is used to check things like is used to monitor domain name propagation. What that means is whatsmydns is a platform that you can use to check where a domain is pointing to and if it has already pointed or not. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you something. Microfidelity Business Institute.org. We come here, there is a record. The record we're looking for is NS, which is the name server. So let's go ahead and search. It's going to give us, hold up, just a second, guys. Admit. Now you see it's showing us the name servers that are here, that are on this domain. Right now, this domain is pointing to ns1.microfidelity.cloud. In the United States, in different parts of the United States, Kansas City, Atlanta, New York, it has propagated. Here in Kansas City, it is not fully propagated, right? Now, if you're checking for a domain, the more ticks, the more green check marks you get, the better for you. If you come here and it shows all red, like X, all red, it tells you that that domain is not pointing yet. Now, you come here to check after you have entered your name server here, after you've entered your name server information. Remember, as far as the domain is concerned, the name server is the first and most important thing you should put in place the moment you purchase the domain. It has to do with a domain. Where do you get this name server from? Because the name ns1 and ns2.microfidelity.com and they're not random names. ns1 and ns2.microfidelity.cloud, they're not random names. ns1 and ns2.microfidelity.cloud is the official and the default name servers for Microfidelity as a hosting company. So it means every customer or every client with Microfidelity that has a shared hosting with Microfidelity are all pointing via their hosting, pointing their domain using that name server or those name servers to their hosting on Microfidelity. So they all have the same name servers. You could go online and look up things like what is Namecheap's name server, and it will give it to you. Here you see that of Namecheap is dns1.registrar-servers.com and dns2.registrar-server.com. So different companies have their own default name server. So what is GoDaddy's? Sorry, GoDaddy. Just say what is GoDaddy name server. Okay, it says using name servers ending with domain control. I think that of GoDaddy is domain control. Yes, I think that is it. Now let's check one last platform. What is that of let's say Hostinger. That of Hostinger is ns1.dns-packing.com and ns2.dns-packing.com. Now, this, once you buy a shared hosting account or a shared hosting service with Hostinger, and you buy your domain from, if you buy your domain from Hostinger as well, by default, those Hostinger might be pointing your domain to, the name server. That's why they're called default name servers. So any domain you buy from Hostinger would automatically point to this. So if you buy just a domain from Hostinger and you don't want to host on Hostinger, you have to go and get the name servers for that other hosting company, because that's what you will use to point that domain to that hosting. Where are you making the pointing? Like I said, you come back here is under edit name server. It's a setting for within your domain setup. So after you've updated your name server, the next thing you want to do for your client is to go back and make sure that you edit the contact information as well. Now, coming back to our account, we have, let's go back to our account. Great. Now, this is our account. I've talked about our domain. Where is our hosting? We come to services. Services will show us the services we have right now. Now we have something called Manage Hosting Suite Launch. Launch is the name of the plan that we have. And the pricing is $488 USD, $488 USD annually. Now this is the hosting plan that we got. This is the hosting. You see how it looks? This is like, for a domain, there was a lot of things you could see, but for a hosting, this is all you see because this is not the control panel. You can click on this and it says view details. Well, let's view details. Remember that this is your hosting account. It is not your control panel. This is your hosting account. All right. Now there's two things here that are important. It says log into cPanel and it says log into webmail. Now, for the sake of this, we're going to log into webmail. Now you see, here's a quick shortcut to the things you have: access to email accounts, forwarders, autoresponders, file managers, backup, MySQL. These are shortcuts of things that exist within the cPanel. So let's say go to cPanel. It automatically opens, attempts to log in. Good. Now this is control panel, cPanel. This is where your work begins. Okay. As a developer or as a designer, you have to acquaint yourself with a couple of things in this interface. If your site is having major issues, it will be from this interface. This is where WordPress is born. This is like the mother that holds WordPress. This is your server interface. cPanel is your server interface. Okay, so now all the talk we've been having, this is that interface we've been talking about. When we talked about something called SSL, this is it. SSL that slash TLS certificates. If you were here in the last class, you remember I mentioned that. Now, once you come into your cPanel, the first thing you want to do is install an SSL certificate. Now, we're going to do something practical. I'd like you to take note of this. Once I do this, refresh, it still says not secured, right? Not secured. You're going to help me check this on your end. We're in our cPanel. Let's go to SSL TLS so we can install an SSL on that domain, because the domain is already connected to the hosting. Mind you, if you're wondering how we know that the domain is already connected to the hosting, you could just come to your cPanel here and click on, hold up, let's click on domain. We'll come back to SSL. Let's click on domain real quick so I'll show you something. You click on domain. Remember, I told you that a cPanel account can have multiple domains. If you remember, this is it. So you see, it says main domain. So this is the main domain that is tied to the hosting account. You see, Microfidelity Business Institute. Now, force HTTPS redirect. You know what this does? This means once you have a cPanel, you have an SSL installed, anytime someone comes to their web address and accidentally types something like, hold up, watch this particular text. If someone comes up and accidentally types something like HTTP, www.microfidelitybusinessinstitute.com. If someone types this, force HTTP redirect is going to ensure that it's going to ensure that automatically redirects to HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. So anyone who is moving from this is going to ensure that they are redirected, to this. That's basically what that feature or that function does. Okay. So now let's go to our SSL. That's the first thing you want to do. Now, when you purchase a hosting account with Microfidelity, you won't have to bother about an SSL. It comes with a free SSL certificate that you can install. So now it says issue certificate. Where do we want to issue the certificate? Now, watch this. This is very important. You see, autodiscover.microfidelity, cpanel.microfidelity business institute, cpanel calendars, and all of that. All these things, these are subdomains. They're subdomains on this particular domain that cpanel puts together to make things work within the server. So you don't want to install on these guys. You just want to come right here and check the box that says microfidelitybusinessinstitute.org itself. The moment you install it on that, every other subdomain here is going to take shape, right? The only time you should be installing on a different subdomain is when you have a subdomain that you created by yourself. These subdomains you're seeing were all put together by cPanel itself when you bought the hosting and the domain was connected. So now I want to install it on microfidelitybusinessinstitute.com. Selected domain is microfidelitybusinessinstitute.com. So continue. Let's see. Now it says an SSL allows visitors to access your website over a secure connection. This allows your visitors to submit credit data and other sensitive information securely. So say, let's encrypt certificate. Click on it. Let's encrypt is a certificate authority that allows you to create free entry-level SSL certificate protection for your domain. Yep, I acknowledge the certificates are managed by, yep, terms of service. Just agree to that. And watch this. All that talk we had about SSL certificates, all that talk. Watch this. It says, let's encrypt is adding your certificate. To view a list of your certificates, go to SSL/TLS. Now watch this. All that talk. Do you see this message? If anyone can see this, please let me know, unmute and tell me. Successfully added let's encrypt certificates. So now you're done. A certificate has been installed on that domain already. Having done that, a certificate has been installed on that domain already. But sometimes, although a certificate has been installed, if you refresh this site, you might still get this not secure message, even after getting a confirmation that you installed an SSL certificate. So you have two options. Let's refresh first. Let's see if we're going to experience the same thing. Boom. See, I refreshed and it still says this. So you have two options or two ways to check it. Number one, you can copy the domain and go and open it on another browser via incognito. Incognito. Incognito simply means it's a branch of your site, of your browser that is private and does not have anything cached in it. Now let's even try to delete cache here. Perhaps that may be the reason we're getting this information. Sometimes if you want to see, if you don't want to go through all that, you could just delete your cached images. Take note, if you click on cookies, it's rest assured that you're going to see a refreshed version of your site, but you will lose some site data as well. So I just do cached images and files. Good, cached images and files are gone. Let's try again and see. Maybe that might help. Well, it didn't. Now, an alternative way to do this is to come here and say decoder SSL checker. Once you do this, it brings you to this decoder.link. Let's click on it. We want to verify if that SSL actually installed, or if we have to wait for a couple minutes or wait for a couple hours. Now it's asking you host name, which simply means what is the domain you want to check. I think the site is still loading. Let's give it a while. Remember I said if you don't want to do this, you can go ahead and open that same address via incognito. Some of you, please go ahead and open that site via incognito. If you see the padlock sign, that means it installed. But let's go ahead and check it here as well. Microfidelity Business Institute.org. It's going to check via port 443. Let's go on. Good. It says it's all good. We have not detected any issues. If an SSL certificate is not installed, you're going to see it. It's going to tell you here. Once it tells you all good, it means you're all clear. You're good. And that it tells you it resolves to this IP address. Its server is server.microfidelity.com. Its name servers are ns2.microfidelity.cloud and ns1.microfidelity.cloud. So all things being equal, we're good here. This is the information. Certificate, you can see it here. Certificate issuer, it lets encrypt. Remember, we just installed that certificate. So all things being equal, we're good. A certificate has been installed here. You can go ahead and do whatever you want to do within your control panel. So now let's go back to the home page of our control panel. So we'll look at things. I think someone unmuted. You want to say something, Bamidele? Okay. Okay, I think that was an accident. Okay, let's go ahead. So now here we are. This is your control panel. This is just an ad. I like to close it. I close things like that. I like my control panel looking neat when I work. Now, this This tab is for emails. You get to see your email accounts, your autoresponders, everything here has to do with emails. If your emails are not delivering, you come here to check it. If your emails are not encrypted, you come here to check it, and all kinds of things. So this tab is for emails. First, let's just take away this ad, then let's close this tab. Good. Files. Now, this is your file manager. This is where all the files on your site are stored. Let's just close it for now. This is database. What database does WordPress use? WordPress uses something called MariaDB or MySQL, and you can access it. You can take a look at your database by looking through phpMyAdmin. That is for our advanced class. Now, tell you what, you don't really need to worry about things like this. If you were installing WordPress locally on your device, then you have to worry about things like this. But because we're gonna install it through a software called Subtaculous, you don't have to worry about that. Now, on the domains, this will show you your domains. This will show you domains that are currently being redirected. Let's close that. Metrics. Now, you see, basically everything else here within your cPanel, well, most of the things here are not your worry, really, because I told you WordPress is not the only thing that cPanel was built to power or built to handle. There's a lot more that cPanel can do. But for WordPress, what do we need? You see WordPress Manager by Subtaculous? Yes, that's what we need. But let's come to Subtaculous App Installer. I don't scroll down to this. I always use my search bar and I just type Subtaculous, and it comes up. So I click on this, Subtaculous App Installer. Pay attention, guys. We're about to install WordPress. You look at this, you see this? I told you this index page you're looking at is coming from your WordPress. Now, oh yeah, we're already here. This is Subtaculous. Subtaculous is popping up something saying install WordPress. Yeah, we're going to do that, but don't worry, close. Let me open our control panel in another tab and show you something. Open. So we're going back to our control panel now. Please pay attention. This class is going to be available for you, by the way. Don't worry. All the classes are going to be, they're being recorded and they're going to be available. So don't worry yourself at all. Now, I want to show you something. Remember, I told you this index page is coming from your file manager. Let's go to that file manager and take a look at what it's made of. Files, manager. Anytime you click on a file manager, it will open in another tab. Then this is where you get to see your directories. On the cPanel, the content of a website are saved in a directory called public HTML. Public HTML. This is loading. By the way, this is a fresh cPanel. If you're just joining the class, I sent the information, the login in details and all. And I did say that you can, take a look. You can log into this and look around, but you're not allowed to change anything on the site. The login details, if you missed it, we have it right here. The hosting account login details is student@microfidelitybusinessinstitute.org. Password is institute password at 2026. The cPanel account information is institute account. That's the username, and the password is institute password at 2026. Mind you, guys, you remember we got into cPanel. We logged in directly into cPanel through this interface. So let's do a little practical before I explain to us what File Manager is. Let's just do a tiny practical. On your computer or on your phone, go to this web address. Just a little practical before we move on. Go to this web address, Microfidelity, HTTPS. Let me copy it, open a new tab, come here, paste it, great. Go to this web address, microfidelitybusinessinstitute.com/cPanel. Now, while you do that, someone else go to microfidelitybusinessinstitute.com, but with a column 2083. Column, take note, these are not same addresses, but they should take you to the exact same page. So guys, let's do this practical. I want you to log into the cPanel on your end. So if you're using a phone, you can open this on your phone, on your browser. If you're using a laptop, you can open it in a new tab. So just go ahead. Once you are able to see that login page, let me know, and then we'll proceed. Real quick, guys. Once you're able to see a login page, let me know. Do you see a login page? The address again is www.microfidelitybusinessinstitute. Hold on. There's a tiny mistake. My apologies, my sincere apologies. www.microfidelitybusinessinstitute.org. That was my mistake. My apologies. www.microfidelitybusinessinstitute.org. Not .com, is .org. I made a mistake, so sorry about that. So once you can see the login page, just let me know. Do you see the login page? Once you can see the login page, let me know. On your cPanel, you see here it says current user is institute account. And I told you that the username of a cPanel is always in small letters, never in capital letters. You cannot have a single capital letter in the username of a cPanel. It's always in small letters. Okay, are we on the page, guys? Are we on the page? Can you see a login page? You should see a screen. I think I can see Alana. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Alana, if you can hear me, can you see that screen? Princess, can you see it? Bamidele, how about you? Zamani, can you see that screen? Daniel, can you see that screen? If you arrive that screen, or when you arrive that screen, your login details are institute account for username. Password is institute password at 2026. In institute password, the I is capital letter, the P is capital letter. Everything else is small letter. Okay, Zamani says he can see it. Zamani says he's seeing it now. Okay, someone said I should paste the link. I'm so sorry, I didn't see that. Let me paste the link. Let me go ahead and paste the link. Just a second. All right, I'm pasting the link in the chat box. So I'm pasting I just pasted the first link. The second one is microfidelitybusinessinstitute.org, column 2083. Both links should take you to the exact same page. Both links should take you to the exact same page. Once you can see it, I'm going to paste the password there as well. Institute password at 2026. I'm pasting both the password and the username in the chat box so you can see. Username is institute account. By the way, our classes from now to the end of this program are going to be practical classes. We don't have a lot of theory classes anymore, maybe just about 3 to 5, but maybe 2, but they're not like full theory classes, maybe just like short classes. So I just sent the username and the password. If you can log in, you should get to this screen. So once you log in, let me know. While we do that, let me proceed and show you around. So this is our file manager. And I told you all the contents of a site being powered by cPanel are saved in something called public HTML. This is public HTML. So let's go in public HTML. Now, please pay attention. You see there's nothing here. When public HTML, there's nothing here. Let me show hidden files. Click on this, show hidden files. Okay, see, there's nothing here. You see something called a CGI-bin. Let's go into it. Let's see what's there. Nothing. Also an empty directory. But you should see something like a hint of this same CGI-bin on the front end. This is it. See, index off is telling us the contents of that page. CGI-bin is just a folder. Once you delete it, let's delete it temporarily. Delete. Mind you, when you're deleting in cPanel, it's going to ask you if you want to skip the trash and permanently delete. If you're not sure, don't check that box. So just delete. Good, we've deleted. Let's refresh this page and see. Refresh. You see, CJ, that folder is gone. Let's create another one. Create a new folder. Let's just say Institute or anything, or Institute. Institute folder. Create a new folder. Now, refresh. Remember, WordPress has not been installed on this website yet. Please remember that. WordPress has not been installed on this website yet. This is your most important class because this is where you get to see the foundations of everything. See, it's taken a while. It's taken some time. It's supposed to, do its thing and show us that folder. If you can see that the folder on your end, great, it's here. Institute. This is the folder. You click on it. Let's see, there's nothing in there. See, once I clicked on that folder, it brought me to microfidelity-institute.org/institute. Institute is like a room. Once you see a slash after a domain address, it tells you the next thing you're looking at is living in that room. Like that's the next room. So just go back to this and delete this. Now, what is Softaculous? Softaculous is the app installer that installs WordPress. Once Softaculous installs WordPress, it installs it in this directory as well. Let's go ahead and just, I click the box to show hidden files now. There's no need. So you see, this is empty, right?
Unable to log, sir.
Okay, what is the issue? What response are you getting? Okay, login is invalid. Okay, who else is getting that same information? Okay, how many persons? Okay, Franklin says. Okay, awesome. We're gonna troubleshoot that so we'll know exactly what is going on. Hold up, just hang in tight. Let's see. Is there anyone who was able to log in successfully? Is there anyone who was able to log in successfully? If you're here and you're able to log in successfully, please let me know. Is there anyone at all who was able to log in successfully?
Is it for the cPanel?
Yes. Were you able to log in successfully?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. If you were able to log in successfully, let me ask the users who are finding it difficult. What network are you using? Is it MTN? Those who were unable to log in, are you using MTN? Okay, MTN. I thought as much. This is what we will do. Someone else is using Airtel, someone else is using. Okay, this is a network issue. So if you have a VPN installed, kindly turn on your VPN and try it again in a new tab. But that is most likely a network issue. Let me quickly try that on my device and see what it's like. Okay, no problem. Try to install a VPN or try to use a VPN to access it. Funny thing is, you might come back in a couple hours and you'll see that you're able to log in. That might just be a glitch in the network. It may be a network issue. Anyway, let's proceed. This is Softaculous. What is Softaculous going to do if you click on WordPress to install here? It's going to install WordPress in this directory, public HTML, that is currently empty. So pay attention. See, public HTML is empty. Let's go back to Softaculous. Now let's say install. Keep in mind that the website shows nothing right now. It's empty. It's an empty site right now. So Softaculous is ready. This is the interface. So this is where you enter the information you want. Remember, it says choose protocol. You're working with HTTPS, remember. Now, just add that subdomain HTTPS for www, let's just add that. It's important. Now, by default, WordPress Softaculous will try to install it in a subdirectory. Just cancel those two words, WP. Cancel them, delete them, because you want it to install on the main address itself. So now it says, what is the site name? Let's do this. Let's call it Microfidelity Business Institute. Good. What is the description? Let's say student truly financial website, because that's the website we're going to be building. Now, admin username, never use something random. Never use something random here. Never. But for the sake of this class, okay, for the sake of this class, we're going to use institute account. Please take note of the difference. The difference is that institute account here, the I is capital letter, the A in the account is capital letter. It's same thing as the cPanel, just that in the cPanel, it's all small letters. Password is going to be institute password at 2026. Email, we're going to use student at Microfidelity Business Institute. Now, interestingly, this email called student at Microfidelity Business Institute has not been created. Remember, this is not a Gmail. Now, WordPress is going to, Subtractors is going to ask you if you want to install some basic plugins. Guys, I never check this. I really don't need this. So I just uncheck them because I don't want them. Now, if we're going to install Microfidelity and WordPress on Microfidelity Business Institute using this email, student at Microfidelity Business Institute, then I should quickly show you how to get that email to make it come alive. Because right now, that email does not exist. You come back to your cPanel, and then you come back to email, and you click on email accounts. You're going to see if there's an email on your account. It's going to be really weird and creepy if you buy a new cPanel or a new hosting and you see an email in your cPanel. That might be a bit weird because you shouldn't see anything there. It should be empty. I think the network is a bit slow tonight. Okay. Okay, email accounts, it's coming up. Just hold up because it's not meant to be a blank page. Great. All right, awesome. Now you see we already created students at Microfidelity Business Institute for you. Institute account is the default system account email that cPanel creates once you're setting it up. Other than this two, other than institute account, you shouldn't see anything else. This one here was intentionally created. Now, how do you create these emails? You just come here and say create. And then it's asking you for the username, which is like the prefix. You could say student. You see, it's already going to go into @business. If you have more than one domain here, then there will be a drop down. If you understand, this is going to be a drop down for you to pick. If you have more than one domain on this cPanel, there's going to be a drop down for you to pick which of the domains you want to install it on. Then you enter your password, and it's just going to, do its thing and add it up. But we've already added this with this email, so let's just go back. Let's delete the email. So we'll do it afresh so you can see how, we did the whole thing. Delete this email. Yes, delete it. Never delete an email account until you're sure there's no important email there, by the way. So let's click on this. Let's say students at Microfidelity Business Institute. You don't need to do, add the @ and all of that. No, don't worry. It's already here. It's in the system already. So password, institute, password at 2026. Make sure your passwords are strong, case sensitive. Now, I'm just going to say create. If you want to stay on this page after creating, you can click on stay on this page. See, it has already created. Now, let's say check email. In another class, I will show you how to connect this email to your phone so that once emails are coming in, you can see them real time on your phone. It's pretty easy. It's loading up. It's taking us to something called webmail. Now, remember, you have a direct shortcut to get to the webmail interface on your hosting account with Microfidelity. I'm going to show you that. I already showed you before, but let me just refresh your memory. Remember this? We saw log into cPanel. We saw log into webmail. Let's go back to our webmail first. Webmail is loading. Just wait, hold up. This is taking us directly to the webmail for student at Microfidelity Business Institute. Since we already created the email, let's allow webmail to keep loading. Let's go ahead to save time. Let's go to Subtractors and install our WordPress. So we've entered all the details we need. Microfidelity Business Institute is the name of the site. Student Truly Financial Website is what we want to call it. It's our tagline, and we've already entered the email address. So I'll just go ahead and hit install. Watch this. It's going to happen. It says this may take 3 to 4 minutes, but I assure you it'll happen in a much shorter time. Boom! WordPress has installed. Now, it says WordPress has been installed successfully at https://www.microfidelity.businessinstitute.org. This is the front end. Administrative URL, which is the WordPress admin, which is your backend, is https://www.microfidelity.businessinstitute.org/wp-admin. So just go ahead and say, boom, let's see the front end. Let's drag that tab here. We want to see that tab. See, it's the same website. Remember this blank page? Now that we've installed WordPress, let's see what it's like. This blank page, let's go back. Boom, WordPress has been installed. By default, WordPress has a theme activated, and it has a blog post that says, hello, welcome to WordPress. Hello world, welcome to WordPress. So now, okay, webmail is ready. Now it says Roundcube open source webmail. This is like the software you're using to access your email. So just go ahead and say open. So we'll see. We installed WordPress. So cPanel or Subtitles should have sent us maybe like a message, about a thing or two about what we just did. By the way, the email address we set up, student@microfidelity.businessinstitute.com, the one we used to install WordPress is a master email. Make sure, see, we have an email here already. It says Subtaculous, new installation of WordPress. You click on it, let's see. A new installation of WordPress 7.0 has been completed. The details of the installation are shown below. The URL is this, which is the front end. The admin URL is this, which is, takes you to the back end. The admin username is institute account. The password is this, it's not going to show you, the password there. My SQL database is institute account. So this is your MySQL database information. My SQL database user, institute account _ WP656. You see, Subtaculous is so good because it creates all the things you need to run WordPress by itself. By itself. So this is it. We're done with the email. Let's close this. Webmail, let's close it. Remember I told you we have a direct shortcut to webmail right from your hosting account. So just click on this, log into webmail. Let's see, let it do its thing. So we'll see webmail. I told you you had that. So let's see it play out. So it's still loading. It's still loading. Let's see. Webmail. Okay, great. This is it. So all you have to do, email address is student@microfidelity.businessinstitute.com. I think this is the screen you were on, and it was giving you an error. This should have been the screen. So let's try this here. I might get the same error. Who knows? I like to see my passwords. Let me just write it here. Institute password at 2026. Copy. Just come here. Paste that. Let's go. Authenticating. Let's see if it's going to sign us in. Login successful. We're getting in. Good. See, we're back to webmail. I'm not going to save this. Let's go ahead. So that's your direct shortcut. If you create multiple email addresses on that cPanel account, if you create multiple email addresses here, once you get to that webmail screen, you just have to log in, enter the specific username or email address and the password, and it will bring you right into their inboxes. So boom, we're done here. Close this. Now, Subtaculous installed the backend on www.microfidelity.businessinstitute.org/WP-admin. So let's go and take a look. Now, if I click on this, before I do that, see this link, if I click on it, it's going to log me in directly. But because I don't want to log in directly, it's not going to ask me for password. It's going to log me in directly because it is Subtaculous that wants to get in there, like when your mom is calling you. So there's more authority there. So let's just open a new tab and drag our tab here and paste that link. Good. Let's go. Let's go and see. What does the WordPress backend look like? It's doing its thing. By the way, my internet is a little slow. That's why you'd notice our navigation across the site is a bit slow. But then we're getting in pretty soon. Can you imagine how fast time runs? I can't believe it. This is my favorite part of the class when things get practical. So now you have two options to log in. You could use that username, which was Institute account, or you could use student at Microfidelity. But let's use Institute account. Remember, and you're going to enter it exactly how you gave it. Institute account. I hope this was what I entered. I cannot remember now, but let's try and see. Password is Institute password 2026. Remember me. Remember me. Do I have to say goodbye? Let's see. Oh, that means I got something wrong. Okay, I got something wrong. It's most likely the username because the password is correct. Password. Now let's come here. Let's say Institute. Maybe there's no space. Okay, then remove the space. Let's try this again. Okay, now the username is correct, but the password you entered is incorrect. Oh my God, are you serious right now? Institute password. I hope I'm not the one making a mistake here. Okay, we're good. And we're in. I know we're in because I can see like the top here, it already shows dashboard. So our dashboard is coming up. Now you see all the lecture we gave about WordPress, about server and all of that. Once you're able to install WordPress successfully and you've installed an SSL certificate, you're temporarily done with your cPanel. Nothing is bringing you to cPanel again unless you want to create an email or you want to install SSL on another domain or you want to add a domain to your cPanel account. Other than that, nothing is taking you back to cPanel unless you want to do a backup of cPanel itself. That's all. That's like all of it. Now, remember I told you this link is going to try to log me in directly. Let me show you that. This is the link where we entered our detail. This is the one from Subtitulars that has more authority and has like a password hash encrypted in it. This will take us there directly. See, there's also loading dashboard. This would not ask you for password because you're trying to log in from like something with higher permissions, right? So now we're getting in. Good, great. Welcome to WordPress. This is the infrastructure that is going to turn a boring website to look like this, trulyfinancial.com. I think someone is joining us. This is WordPress. So let's close this tab. We don't need it now. Let's minimize tabs so we can have our focus in one place. The SSL checker, I'm closing it now. The question here, I'm closing this now. I'm closing all my tabs, most of the tabs that we're not going to be using. Remember that index page is totally gone now. If you refresh this, you're going to see that it's gone. It's going to load up the new WordPress site, and the index thing will be gone. See, index is already gone. It's about to load the visual so we can see. Boom. Now, close. Remember something very important. Remember our file manager. I told you that Subtitulars installed everything you're seeing here, including the dashboard itself, was installed in your file manager. So reload that empty file manager and let's see what it's like. Boom, it's here. In our advanced class, we actually teach on what these things are. This is what we call core WordPress files. These are the files that make up WordPress. WP admin, WP includes, and all of these other files here. WP content is where images are saved. Images, themes, uploads, and all kinds of things are saved. Now, let's go to plugins. You see, hello.php, index.php, Akismet. Let's go straight to dashboard. And so I'll show you those same things. Now, this is your WordPress interface. Post handles things like, post and articles on a website. For blogs, under post is where they go to write, blogs and write their news and all of that. By default, WordPress has made your post your home page. And I'll show you that under something called settings and reading. Because there's no page built here. WordPress comes with a sample page, but by default, it makes your post your home page. Let's go. That's the first thing you want to change once you comment on WordPress. You want to change it from a random page, sorry, a random post to a specific page. And the next thing you want to do after that is something called permalinks. Is to set it to something called post name. I'll explain what that means. Okay, the site is pretty slow and it's not fun. Remember, everything you're looking at in this interface live within this server. They live within your file manager. Good, it's here. It's your homepage displays what? Your latest post. So you're gonna click on this so it will display a static page. Now, if you're gonna switch the focus from your latest post to a static page, WordPress is now gonna ask you, okay, what should be that homepage? Let's say sample page. Now, what should be that post page now? Now that you don't want your post to show up front, where should we put them? You just say post page and click on this. Now it says blog pages show at 10. How many blog posts do you want to see? Well, 10 posts. Don't worry, you don't need all of that. Just come here and say save changes. There's one more thing you would need to do real quick on this very page. It will be to discourage search engines from indexing the website. What does that mean? It means you want to make sure you hide this website from search engines. Why? Because we're not done building the site yet. So let's just go ahead and say, boom, do this. Oh, we made a slight mistake here. It says these pages should not be the same. That's true. Let's just leave this on select for now and save. Leave post page on select for now and save. By the way, in this class, we're going to be teaching you how to build from scratch. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing. You're going to be learning how to design from scratch. We're not going to be showing you like how to use templates for shortcuts and all of those things. No, templates are great, by the way. They speed up things, and but if you know how to build from scratch, that's where you're the real G. Now, look at this. What are plugins? Plugins are the tiny softwares or applications on a WordPress site that power WordPress. They handle the functions. They handle the functions and the features of a website. Now that we changed our homepage from posts to a static homepage, if you click on this and you say refresh, you're not going to see this post again, this hello, this blog, and you're not going to see it. We set it to sample page, so it should bring up the content of that sample page. That content is going to be boring and blank, and yes, we know. So this is it. Sample page. This is an example page. It's different from blog post because it will stay in one place and it will show up on your site. Okay, great. Let's move on. Now, these are plugins by default. Akismet, what it does is it helps you block spam. Those who would want to spam your comment section. Let's just delete it for now. We don't need it. We're going to need it much later, but not now. Hello, Dolly. This is not just a plugin. It symbolizes hope and enthusiasm, the enthusiasm of an entire generation summed up in words. You don't need this right now. Let's delete it. Great. So we have a fresh, see, no apps installed yet on WordPress. Let's go to appearance and look at something called themes. I clicked on appearance. Once you click in WordPress, once you hover on something, a function in your dashboard, the moment you click on it, it's going to take you to the first thing. For example, if you hover on appearance and you click on appearance itself, it will take you to themes. If you hover on plugins without clicking on anything, you click on plugins itself, it will take you to plugins. You hover on tools without selecting what branch of tools you want to go to, it will take you to tools. So now we have themes here. What are themes? Themes are just like another kind of software or a branch of WordPress code that powers the design, the aesthetics, and navigations of the site. So by default, WordPress installed a theme called 2025 or 2025, regardless of how, it depends on how you want to call it. So let's just go ahead and delete this two. We need just one. You need one default theme as a backup to use, to troubleshoot when you run into errors. So you can save one and delete the rest. So once the site is done loading, it's taking too long, we're going to delete we're going to delete something here. We're going to delete these themes. Now, while that is happening, see, I told you plugins. If you don't click on, if you click on plugins, it's going to take you straight to install plugins. If you want to go to add plugins, then when you hover, you have to come and click on add plugins. So now let's go to add plugins. We want to install something on this site. Let's open this. We're going to open themes again in another tab. Open in another tab. Let that one, let it open there. Let that one load. So we'll come back here. So now you want to install something called Light Cache. So it will help your site to speed up. So let's search for Light Cache or Light Speed Cache. Well, let's just delete the light, say cache. It's going to bring up Light Speed Cache still. Now, this is like the Google Play Store of WordPress. This is where you get to see multiple apps that are free that do a thing or two. There's a ton of them, really thousands, but you know, there's only a select few you would need. On your website, you should make sure that you try as much as possible not to have more than 20 plugins. And it depends on the size. If you have 20 plugins on the site, that means it's a really huge site. But for a tiny site like a business or a company website, nah, maybe 5 to 10 plugins at most, and you're good. So this is Lightspeed Cache. This particular software or this particular plugin helps you speed up your website by accelerating your cache. All right, SSS, CSS, and JavaScript optimization. All of that happens with this plugin, and the plugin is free. It has like a pro version, but it's free here. Every software you see in this add plugin section is free. So let's say install. Okay. Let's activate it. Now, while that is working, see our themes. Let's just click on theme details and delete this. Check. I'm sorry, our time is fast spent. I'm going to try to see how that by 9:30 we're out of here. So let's click on this and delete this. I just want to show something. Great. Now this has been installed. Now, remember, when we clicked on plugins the other time, we saw something like Hello Dolly. This is plugins, Lightspeed Cache. Come back to File Manager, click on it. You're going to see Lightspeed Cache on your file in your File Manager. See, Lightspeed Cache. So you can add a plugin from your File Manager, or you could do it from WordPress dashboard itself. All those things are gone. We have just what, 2025. See, Team 2025. That's the only thing we have active. So now I showed you how to add a plugin from WordPress interface. Let me show you how to add it from the backend. Now, by backend, I don't mean the WordPress backend. I mean like your control panel. So I'm just going to go up one level, click on plugins here, click on upload. I already have the plugin that I want to install. So I'm just going to go right ahead and click on, well, select file. Now let's say Elementor. Elementor is what I want to install. So this particular version of Elementor. Keep in mind, I'm doing this in my control panel, right? I'm not doing it in WordPress. I'm doing it in my control panel, but I'm doing it in a specific folder, all right? Public HTML, WP content / plugins. Now Elementor is installed. Now, when you install the plugin, you're done with this page. Once it shows this green, 100%, you could delete it. Now you come back here and you reload. See, Elementor shows Elementor.zip because it's zipped. So you come here and click on this, right click, then you click on extract. To extract the content, it will create a folder for Elementor. By default, this plugin might not be activated. You might have to go into WordPress to activate it. So extraction details is this. It's done. Just close this. Reload just to be sure. See, Elementor has been created, has been added. You can go ahead and delete the zip file now because you don't need it anymore. You can skip trash and delete permanently. Great. Now this is plugins. Let's reload. That's how to add a plugin from the backend. You can do the same thing for a theme as well. Good. Let's activate. Okay, it's installing, it's activating rather. Elementor. Why Elementor? We have different kinds of builders for WordPress. We have a Beaver builder, We have Gutenberg, we have WP Bakery. The two most powerful are WP Bakery and Elementor. But I stand to say that Elementor is way more powerful than WP Bakery and than all the other guys put together. Why? Because with Elementor, everything is drag and drop. With Elementor, you could do literally anything. You see this website here, Truly Financial? We're going to recreate it with Elementor. We're going to turn this boring website, this boring looking website here into this. And that's the basic thing. Our time is gone. Our time is gone, but let's try to do that. Let's try to achieve that first. Now, Elementor has installed. It brings us here. Let's continue as guests. Now, if you want to fill all these things, you could go ahead. I'm just going to say skip. I don't want to fill all these things. It's not compulsory, really. Let's just skip it. How experienced are you with Elementor? Well, I'm pretty experienced. Let's just skip it. I know for the first time it's going to be exciting. You'd want to like look at this. Now it says start with a theme that fits you. There's two themes here. Elementor is offering Hello theme, a flexible canvas theme you can shape, or Hello Biz, a ready to start theme with smart layouts and widgets. Let's go with Hello. Okay, continue with this theme. So Elementor is going to install a theme. Now I say, what do you want to include in your site? Design systems, interactions, theme builder. Yes, theme builder. Forms and leads. Yeah, let's do that. Custom code, which is CSS. Yeah. Email delivery, AI tools. Well, nah. If you want AI tools, you're gonna have to upgrade your Elementor. So I'm not gonna check that. Image optimization, yes. Accessibility. Well, yeah. WooCommerce is also a plugin that you use, but I'm not going to check it right now. We don't need WooCommerce right now. I think it's going to ask you all these things just to know what to prepare for you. So continue with free. Good. It's working things. Remember, Elementor is going to install a theme called Hello. Remember, once it does that, if you refresh this page, you're not going to see just 2025. You're going to see two themes seated side by side, 2025 and Hello. I'm refreshing this page right now. Elementor is still working. I believe it's done. I think it's the network that is, slowing things down a bit. Okay. Oh, Princess says she can't see my screen. Princess, how about now? Sorry, I didn't see that message. Yes, someone is asking if the class will be ready. Yes, it's going to be. Princess, can you see my screen now?
Yeah, I can see it now. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Franklin says he's logged in now. Okay, great. Thank you, Franklin. Okay, see, Elementor installed a theme and it even activated it. Hello, Elementor. Now that it has activated that, let's go to our front end and see what it looks like. It's going to look pretty much the same because we've not built anything yet. Elementor is still working, but that theme has installed, so we have everything we need. Now, there's three important parts of a website that you need to master. The first is called header. Header is the top of a website. It stays static on most websites. Now, what is the header? On Truly Financial, the header is everything from the logo down to this button. Any website you visit, that top compartment that has the logo and the navigation menu is the header. What is the footer? The footer is that bottom compartment that holds things like about us information, contact us information, and a few other things. So this dark part, everything here is your footer. Now, what is body? Body is simply everything between the header and the footer. So this entire content, as we scroll up, is the body. So these are the three compartments you need to master how to build. They're not the only compartments, but these are the three most important compartments. Why are they the most important compartment? They're the most important compartment because if you're building with, if you're not building from scratch and you're building with a theme or a template, then most templates come with other compartments pre-built already. By the way, if you're wondering where we buy templates from, we buy templates from somewhere called themeforest.net. They sell templates for WordPress, and it goes from anywhere from $19 to $99. So you see WordPress, you could buy a what you could just come here to the, and pick whatever templates you want. It's fun, but I do not recommend starting your WordPress journey with templates. I recommend learning how to build this from scratch, because once you become good at it, you realize that most of the templates, sincerely speaking, are not all that worth it. So these are templates. What are templates? They're like pre-built websites. You just import them into WordPress. So great, this is where we are. It's taken a while. The site is taking too long, probably because of cache or the network. I think it's the network. So Elementor has done its thing. So let me just override this. Take me back to the dashboard. Stop doing this. So now this icon you're seeing here is your Lightspeed icon. If you remember, we installed a plugin called Lightspeed Cache. This is it here. This is the plugin, and it's on this side. Once you install a plugin, it will come up on the left side. This left side is your navigation in your WordPress backend. So this is Lightspeed Cache. So if you want to clear cache, you just have to come over on this icon and click on Purge All. So I'm just going to, once the site is downloading, I'm just going to say Purge All. I want to clear cache. Sometimes that might speed up the website. I really do think my network is messed up. Permit me, let's close the class at, this is 9:24. If we could close the class at 10. If you don't think you can stay, you can excuse yourself. The recording will be available either way, so you don't have to worry about anything. Okay, while that is working, let me show you around. Let's go to pages. Pages. That's where we have the pages of our WordPress website. Now, you see, what you're looking at here is a sample page, and this is it. This sample page, this one here, you see, it shows you front page. It says front page because that is the front page of our website. Next thing is Elementor. Elementor added a page for itself. Once Elementor powers a page, next to it, you're going to see an option that says Edit with Elementor. If you don't see that option, it means that page has never been opened with Elementor. Like privacy policy, it's in draft. It's never been opened with Elementor. Sample page, it's active, but has never been opened with Elementor. All right. So what we want to do is we want to edit this sample page. This is the page we want to work with. So let's click on it. First, you're going to click on Edit. The Edit with Elementor option is going to be in that page, within the range of that page itself. You don't want to miss this, really. You do not want to miss this. Now, while that is working, I'm just going to go ahead and close this tab. I'm introducing you to themeforest.net. I would not advise you to go ahead and buy a theme or a template just yet until you've mastered how to build stuff. And then you're going to know there are a few themes here that are really worth the while, worth the money. So I'm closing this now. Now, in Elementor, I did tell you that we have three important, in WordPress, there are three important parts, the header and the footer. Let's go to Elementor. Let me show you where you edit that. I hover on Elementor, I click on editor, I hover on it rather, then I come down to templates. Let's click on templates. Let's take a look. Our page is still loading. The one where we clicked on edit page for sample is still loading. See, so now saved templates 0. We don't have like saved templates here. So let's click on something called theme builder. I'm going to go ahead and click on something called theme builder. Theme builder is where you where you build the core parts of WordPress, things like header and footer. That's where you build it. But the body, you don't build it in theme builder. The body of a page will have to be built in that page itself, which means as we're loading this page right now, this edit page, this sample page that is still loading, what we want to build in it is everything from this where business meets the world all the way down to this button, all the way down to this button, the get started button. That's where we want to stop. Okay, that's what we want to build. So let's just allow that to, it's taking way too long to load this page. I canceled it. Let me restart it. The network is terrible, really. I'm starting to think maybe we should push this part of it to the next class, but let's see how it goes. Even if we're not able to build, I want us to build something. I want us to build maybe just the header. So you just see how it works. I want you to see what an Elementor interface is like. The network is not all that encouraging. Let me switch to 5G and see if it will be better. Okay, I think the 5G is currently unavailable. Yeah, the 5G is probably unavailable right now. Okay. Oh, this is taking way, way too long. This is taking way too long. Let's take a look. Let me see. Just a second. I want to find out if this website is the only thing being slow. If other sites are being fast, then it's probably from that website. Let me see. I just loaded another site. Let's click on WordPress. I want to see how fast the other sites are loading. Okay, great. The other sites are loading fast, which means something about this server has to be troubleshooted. Okay. While I do that, let me do that in another tab. I'm just going to go ahead and troubleshoot that server to see what's going on. Just a second, guys. You probably can't see my screen. Okay, you can still see. I think you should still be able to see my screen, although you may not see. I'm just going to try to write them to restart the server. We need that speed. We really do. Okay. While that is working, let's go to theme builder here. Let's see. Because sometimes once you restart the server, the site starts to move really, really fast. It may take maybe a couple seconds to restart a server, but once you restart it, it starts to move really fast. Now, I know that it may be from the server because two reasons: other sites are loading, and also because there's nothing on the site yet that should, warrant it being slow or being laggy a bit. Nothing, or maybe because it's a fresh cPanel installation, really. But if you run into something like this, you could write the hosting company and tell them to maybe restart the server or maybe help you troubleshoot it. I can do that on my end because because we're the hosting company as well. So I'm just looking into it right now. Okay, this page is loaded. Now, this is the theme builder. If you can see the screen, header is where you edit the header, the topmost. Remember I said header and footer and body are not this only compartment. There are other compartments like what? Single page. This single page means you design the layout for how a page should appear. Single post means you design the layout for how an article should appear. You design the layout for how an article should appear. Archive is where you design the layouts for how a category or a group of your posts should appear. Search result page is when you design how you want your search results page to appear. Product is where you design how you want a product page to appear. Product archive is where you design how you want the category page, a group of products to appear. 404 is where you design how you want for your 404 page to appear. What is your 404 page? Your 404 page is the page that loads when someone is trying to access a part of your website that is not reachable. So now this is locked by default because we're on the free version of Elementor. So I'm just going to go ahead, and we already have, by the way, we have the pro version. So I'm just going to go ahead and install it. So Elementor Pro, that's what we're going to install. Okay, we're done. Reload. Okay, extract. Oh my God, our time is fast spent. Okay, reload. Now delete. Delete this one, remember? Same thing we did. So Elementor Pro has been installed. I want to go check it out. By the way, our sample page has loaded. This is the button I was talking about, edit with Elementor. So I'm just going to click that. Copy this link, open a new tab, drag it here, paste it now, delete everything else. I want to go to the admin so I can install that plugin we install. I can activate the plugin we installed. So just go to plugins. It's moving at ample speed right now. Yeah, I think, yeah, so Elementor Pro, I'm just going to go ahead and activate it. Okay, Elementor Pro is activated. Still working. Great, activated. So let's refresh this page and see if we'll still get the padlock. Mind you, this Elementor Pro is it's Microfidel's Elementor Pro plugin. So we already prepared every single thing you're going to need for this course. By default, if you want to get Elementor Pro, you'd have to go to the official website and pay for it. It's a little pricey, but it's worth it, I assure you. Elementor Pro. But on the bright side, for as long as you're part of this program, we can always make that available for you. For as long as you're connected to Microfidelity Institute, we can always make that available for you. But by default, if you want to purchase it on the bright side, well, you could just buy it and then have it be the builder for your website. You can go on their website, elemental.com, to check out their plans if you want to take a look at that. So great. Okay, let me see. Reload, just to be sure. With Elementor Pro, you get to have access to things like CSS. CSS is when you build with a code. Okay, I think. Okay. This plugin, Elementor Pro, was not fully activated. I can't contact the team right now to work on that. So let's take another approach to build the header. Let's add a new plugin. Elementor is not the only plugin you can use to create a header and a footer. It's not the only plugin. There are different plugins, but there's a reliable one called Elements Kit. So we go to plugins and we type Elements Kit. Let's bring that up. Okay, someone sent a message. Let me see. Okay, I think someone is having an issue. Okay, this is the plugin, Element Kit Elementor add-on. It's an add-on. Once you hear that the plugin is an add-on, it means it's just a plugin that supports Elementor. If it's an Elementor add-on, that means it supports Elementor. If it's a Beaver Builder add-on, that means it supports Beaver Builder. So okay, someone said, I don't know who this person is, but he says he's getting this error. I can see the reason you're getting this error. It's in the WhatsApp group, by the way. You forgot the T in institute. Microfidelity Business Institute. In institute, in the word institute, you forgot the T. Let me just go ahead and send you the correct link. Okay, I think one of us unmuted by accident. Okay. Zamani says, I'm lost. I mean, totally lost. All I'm hearing is boom login. Okay, Zamani, you don't have to worry. You're gonna get the class. You're gonna get the video, so you don't have to worry about that. Bamidele, it says it really needs tonight's class. You'll get it as well. You have nothing to worry about. If you can see my screen, you'll know that it's been recorded right now. So you don't have anything to worry about. You're gonna get link to download the video or to watch it. So Microfidelity Business Institute, I need to send it to this user so he or she can take a look. Institute.org. Okay, I've sent it. Okay, we've got 23 minutes to wrap things up here. Okay, Elements Kit is installed. Let's just go ahead and activate the plugin. This is still taking a while. I need to restart this server. Let me check in with the guys on that. Okay, this page is taking a while. Good. Elements Kit is installed. Now you see Elements Kit. You see when I hover on it, I have an option called header footer. So with Elements Kit, you can create a header. So let's go ahead and see what it's like there. It's going to bring us up. It's going to show us the Elements Kit onboarding system first, because you would have to like onboard on Elements Kit first before you can use Elements Kit. It's nothing to worry about. Onboarding on it does not mean paying for it or anything. Elements Kit is free, and it also has a pro version, by the way, but it's free. Okay, so Elements Kit comes with widgets. I need you to understand that everything you see in Elementor works with widgets. What are widgets? Let me show you this. This here is a picture. It's powered by something called an image widget. This here is a text. It's powered by something called a heading text. This here is a text as well, but it's powered by something called a text editor widget. I think someone is coming in. Admit. This is a button. It's powered by a widget called button, literally. This is a menu. It's powered by a widget called menu. This is a logo. It's either powered by a widget called logo widget or image widget, because you could also just use an image widget, which I think it is, because you can see I can drag the image. Now, this here is called a search button. It's powered by a search widget. You need to understand that as far as WordPress web design and Elementor is concerned, everything is built by drag and drop via widgets. These are pictures. It's powered by an image widget, image widget, image widget, text editor widget, and heading widget. What's the difference between text editor widget and heading widget? Text editor widget attempts to bring text in small forms, like small text, like descriptions. Heading widget, on the other hand, attempts to make them bold for titles. Okay, so text widget, text editor widget, sorry, heading widget, apply is heading widget, and the description under it is text editor widget. This button here is a button widget. If you understand this primary concept, I assure you, you're good to go. Our sample page is still loading. Don't worry, we don't need you for now. Just hang in there. So Elementor, don't worry. You could just take us back to the admin page, because we're not going to build the header with Elementor. So now, what are those widgets? This is it. Elements Kit comes with its own widget as well. Elementor also comes with its own widget. So Elements Kit right now is asking us, what widgets do you want to have? So there's icon pack, which helps us to put icon on the site. There's header and footer, which is automatically turned on because you can see its feature or function active here. Mega menu is where you build those amazing menus. Let me show you something like this. This is a mega menu, but the mega menu can be more extensive. You get to add pictures and stuff. So now, parallax effect, these are all widgets. Messenger, advanced tooltip, cross-domain copy and paste, these are all widgets. Now, the basic widgets have been selected, and that's what we need, really. Let's just go ahead. Welcome to the world of Elements Kit. Next, build a complete WordPress website. I'm not going to activate any of these things because I don't need them right now. Let's continue. Watch how to use. Don't worry, we know how to use it. Let's just go ahead and complete the setup. It says, great, you're all set. Here's an overview of everything that is set up. Okay, let's just go ahead, go to the WP dashboard. I want to come to the basic dashboard of Elements Kit itself. Guys, don't worry, you're going to get to this class, tonight's class rather, so don't worry about it. I have that in mind, along with all the classes that have been that have not been uploaded. I have that in mind as well. I have those ones in mind. So now this is where now those widgets we selected. If you're not sure about something, you could just come here and click on widgets, and it will take you back to a portfolio of widgets that you can select. Now I'm just saying widgets now, and some of you probably don't understand what I mean. I'm going to show you where we actually use them. But first, let's come to this header footer, because that's what we want to create. Remember, I told you the first component, header and footer, header and footer. So we're going to add a new template here. By the way, I'm still trying to restart the server. So when I do restart the server, you're not going to be able to access the site temporarily, just to see how things can, speed up because of our time. Okay, let me restart the server. Good. I'm already restarting the server. So if you're trying to log in right now or you're trying to do anything on the side, it might be a little slow. Let's give it a couple seconds. It may take a minute, 2 or 3, but that is already working. Okay, server is still restarting. You probably can't see my screen. That's because I'm restarting it from a different tab. But that is working. It's still widgets are really okay. The server has been restarted. Awesome. Let's get into the site. So I'm just going to click on add new template now. Let's call it main header. Let's activate it by default. Activate it. Where do you want it to appear? Entire site. A header and a footer should appear on in the entire site. Type header. See, these are two things. Header is the one on top, footer is the one on the bottom. So header is what I want to do. Save changes. Now, by default, it's just going to save it. You still have to go in there and edit it. Okay, that's working. That's working. Let's take a look at what our front page looks like. This is what it looks like. Let's reload that. I'm just going to go ahead and clear cache on my PC just in case. Sometimes clearing cache speeds up a site. 71 megabytes has accrued. Clear the cache. Thank you. So that's working. Good. Main header is here. Now, let me drag this dashboard here. Let me come back here. Now, I'm just going to click on edit. Those of us who are lost, don't worry. It's going to make sense when you watch this video all over again. I'll advise you watch this video at least 2 to 3 times and while testing stuff, which is exactly why I gave you login information, the login details to all the platforms we've accessed tonight. I sent you login details to the cPanel. I sent you login details to for WordPress. I sent you login details to the hosting account as well. So you could play around it. But remember, do not delete a thing and do not, compromise passwords or anything. Just play around it. The goal is for you to master this interface. The more you play with the tools, the better you become handling them. So hold up, this is taking way too long. Just gonna refresh that. Okay, I think this is from my network, really. Let me see, do I have? Okay, guys, give me a second. I just realized I could restart my router, but then our time is gone. Our time is really gone. So I restart my router now. It's gonna take about 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes to come up. But anyway, let's call it a night. Tomorrow, we're gonna have a class where we build this. We're gonna build this header you're looking at, and then we're gonna build, if we don't finish this page tomorrow, we're gonna build half of it. And tell you what, if you can build this page you're looking at, because tomorrow, at the end of tomorrow's class, we're gonna have an assignment. I'm gonna build everything you're looking at here, and then I'm gonna have you watch the video. And by our next class, I would expect that I would expect you to have built something like it. Remember, now assignment for today is pretty easy. Assignment for today is this. I want you to come to log in the WordPress website, come to pages. You see, I hover on pages, do add page. That's what I want you to do, because the page you're going to be creating is where you're going to do your next assignment. So add page is still loading. I'll just show you that before we call it a night. Our time is already gone. I don't want us staying up late. So tonight's assignment is pretty easy. Log into WordPress, come to add page, and create a page with your name. The page should be in your name. For example, if I do create a page with my name, then the address of that page, you see the way this is cPanel, the address of that page is going to be something like microfidelity.org/Gemwell. Gemwell James. It could be this, but if I put a space between Gemwell and James, that space is going to take effect with a dash, because that's how WordPress operates. If you ever go on a website and you see that you're not seeing the name of the page, you're seeing something like maybe post 450 or something like a number, that means it's using a system. The permalinks is using something called IDs is using what is the permalinks? It's a path in settings where we go to arrange how links operate in our system. It's got multiple options, really. While that opens, let's see the ad page. The ad page is taking way too long. This is from my internet. I can see it here because my 5G is not even coming up at all. So I'm just on like normal 4G, which is pretty much one of the slowest things in the world. Okay. Oh, clearly this is quite a frustration. Okay, great. Our header page is here. Tomorrow we're going to pick this up. We'll edit this header with Elementor. Everything we're building on the site is going to be built with Elementor. Drag and drop, pretty easy. Drag and drop, everything is going to be easy. You see how the whole thing works. Okay, someone sent a message. I thought I responded. I sent you a link. I think it's, oh, okay. Okay, another person is responding to him. Okay, awesome. Let me just tell him the mistake. You missed the last T in the word institute. Okay. So my network is slow, which is why the ad page is not coming up. My pages are really slow. By the way, this is permalinks, what I was talking about previously. So what does permalinks do? Right now it's set to day and name. We're going to change that to post name. You always want it to be post name. What does post name mean? It means it's going to take the actual name of that page. If it's set to day and name, then it's going to take both the name of the page and the day that page was created. You see something like 2026 06 04 slash sample post, which is a sample name for that. So you don't want that. You want it to be post name so that your links will be pretty. That's what they call pretty links. So something like Truly Financial now, if you click on About Us, Truly Financial should go to trulyfinancial.com/about us. See, it brings that up. It changes to /about us immediately because that's a set to post name. For best practice, it's advised you keep it at post name, nothing else. It should be post name at all times. So assignment for today, this is taking a while, but I'll just tell you what you're going to see. Go to the account, go to WordPress, log in WordPress here with the details we sent, scroll down to add pages, click on add page, create a page with your name. So if your name is Gemwell James, write Gemwell and James, click on, and you're going to see a save button the moment you enter the name of the page. All you're entering is the name of the page. Then you click on save. If you click on save, a way to test the name is to go to a link, microfidelity.business.org/ the names you entered. Now, let me explain something real quick. If your name is Gemwell James and you create a page with Gemwell and James, which means like, you separate both names. If there's a space, that means the link to your page is going to be Gemwell -James. It's all about the space. If you enter a space while creating that page, while setting up your name and while setting up the page, that space is going to be a dash. Please take note. But if you merge both your names together, like Gemwell James together, while setting up the page or naming the page, then your link is going to be Gemwell James. I think this is even pretty. You could do this. So the moment you do it, test it out. Test it out. You should not get a 404 error. Right now, I don't have Gemwell James on this website. So if I try to access it, I should see a 404 error or something like it shouldn't go through. So test it out. If you create it properly, it should take you to a blank page. So that's why we're going to be handling assignments for tomorrow. I think someone is asking a question. Zamani is saying, come again for the assignment, please. I don't get that. Okay, Zamani, just one last time before we go. I'm saying log into WordPress, this website that we set up, log in, sign in here. And for you to sign in, I'm going to send you the link. I'm sending all the links to the group right after the class. Log in with the username and password, and then head over to pages, Once you hover on this, my network is slow, which is why you can't see the effect. But once you hover on this, you should see add page. So you click on add page. Then when they ask you for page title, you should see something saying page title. Just enter your name. For Zamani, it's going to be Zamani. You just enter your name and then you click the save button. Once you do that, you head over to another tab and you type microfidelitybusinessinstitute.org/Zamani. Do you understand? /Zamani. If you click on it and you head on to that site, it should, if it shows you a 404 error, it means you made a mistake in the name or you made a mistake in the link you're trying to use to access that page. That's the assignment for tonight. Thank you very much, guys. Let's call it a night. I know some of us have questions. Please just drop your questions in the group, and then I'm going to respond to them. Zamani, your text saying you're totally lost is incredibly funny. Don't worry. I'm sending tonight's classes along with the others to us right after. I think Google is going to have it ready in the next maybe 40 minutes. I'll send it to us so we can access it. See, I can see a notification here saying page not found. Can you see that? That's because we don't have a page called Zamani yet. So if you see this page not found, it means it's either you created the page with the wrong name or you missed an alphabet, in which case you go back to the page, click on edit, and check what the mistake could have been. So that's about it. Let's call it a night, guys. I know we have questions. Let's just drop our questions in the group and I'll attend to them. Thank you very much and good night, everyone. Have a wonderful night rest.